Oh hey, what's up, Mr. Cell? It's time to get serious. Okay, so the first question is how do you define leadership? And for me, I think that can be a pretty simple question. First of all, being a leader means being the best version of yourself. You can't lead other people if you're not confident in yourself and your abilities. This said, some people aren't necessarily ready to be leaders, but this doesn't correlate with being cocky or self pretentious. Being a leader means catering yourself to other people's needs for the greater good of the group. A leader recognizes the fact that actions are just as powerful, if not more powerful, than words, and thus leads by example, not strict rule. With this kept in mind, a leader should be also virtuous and more moralistic. So, who is the best leader I've ever known, and what were the traits that made this person such a great leader? So, someone who I consider to be the epitome of all these traits would have to be my Papa Howie, who unfortunately passed away only a couple months ago due to lung cancer. So, Papa was the Will County Sheriff Deputy, and he knew how to keep authority. He had a loud mouth, and he wasn't afraid to speak up for what was right. But even more than this, he was respected, not for his title or position, but because he treated everyone as equals. He went out of his way to build relationships and make friends, and when he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer only 2 years ago, his diagnosis wasn't a death sentence, but an opportunity for him to persevere and prevail despite his own personal issues. He taught me what it's like to give it your all, like a good leader should. He was not only a leader, but he was a great fighter. So, why do you think your peers would respect you as a student leader? So, I think my peers would respect me because while I may be opinionated and strong headed at times, I'm a very devoted person, but I know how and when to be ready, but also have fun. I treat freshmen with just as much respect and patience as any other upperclassmen. Needless to say, I am human and I make silly mistakes, especially being a teenage boy, but I am quick to apologize and I fix any problems I've caused. I've learned that in order to expect respect, you first must earn it. So, why do I like being in band and why do I dislike being in band? So, I like being in band because of the friends I've made and the experiences I've shared. Being a triplet, I've had the opportunity to experience growing up with my siblings for practically the last 18 years. I've learned more about myself in these past 3 years of band than the rest of my life. I never knew I'd like to march on a field, play an instrument, or even sing as much as I did until I joined marching band. That being said, there are some things I dislike about band. What bothers me the most are varying levels of commitment and sometimes just flat out laziness to such an amazing program that we're all blessed to be a part of. I fall into this category myself sometimes, and I don't realize how lucky we really are. But I really just wish people recognized how fortunate they are to be to be a part of such a great program. So question 5 is a little tricky, and that's gossip. So the scenario is two members of the band have some kind of dispute, or there's gossip about something, and how do you handle this situation? So I think anywhere where there's a large group of people, gossip is inevitable. It's just part of human nature. So sometimes I think it's best just to let small disputes settle themselves. But should gossip get out of control, there's certainly a point where one should intervene. I think you know better than anyone else the trumpet section has experienced this issue before. From prior experience, in my opinion, the best way to settle these issues is to talk to people involved individually. I think that's very important, and respectfully keeping in mind that there's always two sides to a story. Calmly de-escalating the situation and reminding people of the bigger picture, the group as a whole, usually solves these problems. And worst case scenario, you don't have to adore someone, but you should get along. So at the end of the day, if you can settle these disputes, that's great. But if it turns into something like bullying, there's definitely a point where you need to get a parent or a leader or an adult involved, like you or a staff member. What will you do to make sure the section is getting to know each other outside of rehearsal? So making sure the section knows each other and gets along is something I think the trumpets are already very good at. This starts at fundamentals by reaching out to young members and immediately including them in conversations and sectionals. Just like upperclassmen, like last year, it's kind of a tradition. We'll go to Pizza Hut or something, and we already have sectionals planned, like bonfires and lake trips, and of course, Walmart runs. But fun sectionals really are the best way to bond with new friends and make sure everyone's involved. So, with this year's theme as being a light in the darkness, I think especially today in this day and age, with all the negativity around the world, making a difference in the world and the community is very important. So, my family actually happens to be a part of the Isaac Walton League conservation organization, and I think a great opportunity for the trumpet section to get involved in the community would be to take part in conservation activities such as repairing hiking trails or planting trees or building compost bins or even like promoting nature alone. Even my brother and I think Alex Carber have all gotten together at the Isaac Walton League and even built a bridge before. And these things seem kind of small, bigger picture, but at the end of the day, it really does make a difference in nature in our community. Not only that, but I think it would make for some great sectionals for the section. As I'm kind of coming to a close here, I'd like to make it clear, obviously I'm not perfect. No one can be, and I've made some mistakes in the past that I definitely regret. Some of those including trying to be someone I'm not. But above all, marching band has taught me to be myself and be someone who takes initiative and is motivated at their heart. I believe I'm both strong mentally and physically enough for this position, and I can handle any constructive criticism facing my way. This summer, I've actually been accepted into the Naval Academy Summer Seminar, something that I'm very proud about. And I hope to gain even more leadership characteristics through this both challenging and amazing experience. Overall, I know there's a lot of great people trying out for this leadership position, but I know I'm up for the challenge. Even if I'm not chosen, I can totally vouch for the fact that both my brother Will and my sister Sarah would be perfect choices for this position as well. Both are, very loyal, devoted, and compassionate people. No matter what, regardless of my title, I know I'll work hard to be a leader and be the best version of myself this upcoming season.
With that being said, peace out.